mid-morning rest. You can travel all year long and email us some cool pics, or binge watch some crazy show you found on Netflix. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. You don't have to be PC anymore. You can tell a parent off or push a kid to the floor. Kathy, you'll be missed. We wish you all the best. Stuck with Tom all day will be your ultimate test. Take it on, Mikey.
Kathy started teaching in Essex in 1975. The kids were lucky to get her in grades 3, 4, and 5. She taught 4th grade at Seven Oaks. She was assistant principal at Sparks. They must have thought she was really good, 'cause they threw her in with the Sharks. She got the principal's job at Riderwood in the year 2001. And if you got the post-it saying, "See me," you might be under the gun. She's been at Riderwood for 17.2 years. It feels good to get out of the school. At Riderwood, there's always data to check. Now there ain't no school to be a pain in the neck. La la la, la 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 la.
Oh, another one.
La la la, la 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 la.
Keep going, Mike.
Okay. When you went to see her in her office, you'd see binders all lined up on shelves. Unless it was Halloween or Christmas, then you'd see body parts and Santas and elves. And if you opened up her closet, more binders stacked to the roof. 20 lockers outside her office. Decorations for the year, it's the truth. La 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 la. She's been at Riderwood. Kathy liked events at Riderwood. She played volleyball every year. There were teachers and kids and balls and nets in a room full of screaming cheers. She served Thanksgiving lunch in a turkey hat with a smile for everyone. 'Cause she knew pretty soon she'd be in Cancun having beach time under the sun. Now she's done with the weekly bulletin. Every word was written to love it. Notes to parents and teachers and the staff and the kids. Now you can tell them all to shove it. You can hang with Kelly and Ryan and Tom. Yes, it could become a habit. And you can keep all the raccoons you collected for years, unless some of them are rabid. She's been in the county for so many years, with the fame and the glitz and the glamour. In retirement, you can clean your own house, spike your Dr. Pepper, and get hammered. Hey!
Kathy, at this time, we'd like you to come forward.
For the rebuttal.
And the office staffers, and we have a gift for you that is a token of appreciation from everyone in the room and from all the people you worked with. And we'd like to thank you for the memories. Speaking for those present who made this gift possible, Pat Fiery is going to come up.
Oh no, I'm fine.
I asked her to tell a little story about the gift. Do you want to tell? Maybe we'll let her open it first.
Go ahead. We have a parent who happens to be a jeweler, and they created a piece of art for Kathy. So it's lovely.
Thank you, Pat. I'm trying to get you up here. I think.
Carrie Ann wrapped it.
It's not a lifter.
I'm not.
Did you notice it's a green?
Lee, you're gonna see that at Christmas.
It'll be one of the stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
Kathy once told me the reason she worked till this ripe old age was so that she could always buy people what she wanted at Christmas. And she does a good job of Christmas shopping, right, Tommy? So many things.
It's the design that you made.
Can you see it? Here, take it out. Here's your
Glasses.
It's your raccoon. And it's in gold and silver.
That's not big enough.
Come over here so you can say your little words of thanks. We're going to offer Kathy the opportunity to say a few words to the people who love her.
Well, half of what I was going to say, I think people have already said, but I wanted to thank Mike and Alex for doing such a phenomenal job. I want you to know that the first time that I was at Riderwood, and we had our back to school night, I never ever, in all my 17 years there, ever had to introduce the faculty, because we always had someone else who was doing that. Michael was, and Bob Hallett used to do it in the beginning, and then Alex came along, and then Alex would do it. But I can remember the first time they did that, and I sat through that, and they had this song, and they introduced and told a little bit something about every single staff member. And I got up and I said that if I'd have known it was going to be anything like that, I wouldn't be the one following. I would have gone first, because that was really a very hard act to follow. We just have some very talented people, and they do a great job of making us all feel
Really special.
so
I'm not
special.
going to cut your hair while you talk.
Kelly did that last night. It was quite the evening. Yes, we had a long discussion about that, because when she got done, there was way too much hair sitting on the kitchen. I have witnesses. See me. Yeah, I had a lot of those see-me's. Well, I'd like to start by saying thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you who in some way plays a huge part in shaping the person that I am today, especially my family. Having a career, partnering in a marriage, and raising children is not always an easy task to juggle. But despite the challenges, I am proud of each and every one of them. My husband, the man who does not seem to know the meaning of retirement. My son, the school resource officer, who somehow remains sane in his role at Cary Hall High School. And my daughter, the infamous baker. Did you see the cake? But she's found her calling as an operating room nurse, and she sent me some very strange text messages, thankfully not accompanied by corroborating pictures. I've truly been blessed in my career from start to finish. I accomplished far more than I ever set out to. When I looped up from 3rd to 4th grade with Mrs. Loxton at Berkshire Elementary, that was the defining moment when I decided that I wanted to be a teacher. And that desire never waned over the years. 4th grade was always my favorite grade to teach, and that was the grade I started out teaching in Essex in 1975. Oh, so many years ago. It was one of the 3 oldest schools at that time in the county, yet I have such fond memories of the 17 years that I spent there. 20-foot ceilings, no AC, radiator heat, 2-story building, and boy did it get hot up there, didn't it, Livia? In the summertime. Those were the days. That was a time of teachable moments, far fewer guidelines than we have today in the beginning of lasting friendships. We worked hard, but we had time to be creative. We didn't have so many timeline crunches, the overkill of testing, or strict curriculum guides. Kids had time to be kids. I know, Heather, that's a big thing for you. I taught 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Livia, my good friend, and I even had an opportunity when our kids went to Essex Community College to swim. Sometimes we got in the pool with them and swam. Sometimes we went down and played tennis on the tennis courts. We had time to do that. We played team volleyball between our school and other local elementary schools. We had theme-based colonial festivals, May days, field days, and we played lots of pranks. Yes, Tom, we did play lots of pranks. We had fun. During my years there, I worked with several different administrators and was challenged frequently. I was going to say nagged frequently, but I took that out, but I'm changing it, putting it back in. By one of them to spread my wings. Obviously, he was impressed when he came in my room and did his observations. But this meant going through what they had at that time called the phases, and then going through the interview phase to get into the AP pool. Still, I was more focused on teaching than I was on getting into administration. Although I do remember when I was at Essex, and I put a couple of them on the picture boards that I had back there. My sister Carol is not a teacher, so when we would have our snow days, I would write these little songs, and then I would call her on the phone at work, and I would sing them to her because I was off and she was at work. So you'll have to check them out. They were a lot of fun. Next on the agenda, a new school opened up near my home, so I decided to put my hat in the ring. Tina Ellis was the AP, and I'm sure it was her clout that got me the 4th grade position at Seven Oaks. Although, I have to say, after I got over there, she left, so I never had an opportunity to work with her because she was promoted to principal. I was proud to be a charter member of that school and remained there for 4 years and worked with 2 different principals. In 2001, Tommy had just been promoted to principal. He was at Meadowood. I was going to go over and do all the computer work at his building, and I got the call that I had been promoted to AP. So, needless to say, he was on his own. Ironically, the principal of my assigned school, Sparks, was none other than Tom Ellis, the same principal I had worked with at Essex, who decided to raise the bar for me. In my last evaluation from him, he had written, and it's very similar to what you said, that he looked forward to the day that we could work together as fellow administrators. They say, be careful what you wish for. But my OCD personality